Yes, good evening. My name is Wallace Gator Bradley, and I'm the president of United in Peace, Inc. First, I want to say to God be the glory. And one of the most important things I want to get out there, it takes all of us to make life better for all of us. I would like to also let everyone know that this show wouldn't be possible without the chairman of United in Peace, Inc., who happened to be the producer and the director of this show, Miss Terry Marsh, someone that I'm endeared to. I like to say that by this being Black History Month, everyone is paying attention to this new movie that's coming out, the Black Panther, the superhero. And it's being directed by a young man by the name of Ryan Coogler. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And it's almost an all African American cast in the movie. And it's telling a story from a cultural perspective. Everyone is looking for this movie to do big at the box office. I believe it's going to do big. But another thing about this month, I've seen a lot of subliminal things that's happening within our community to suppress the African American vote in this March 20th election leading up to the November election in the race for governor. I'm seeing a lot of our young African Americans who are leaders within their own right. And I'm just voicing my opinion because I read their opinion, and everybody is entitled to their opinion. But when you see the young African American leaders basing their right to lead based on the fact that they don't want to listen to their elders who were young themselves and led. What I hear, I read 3 stories today in the paper. I read the Reporter story and the Chicago Reporter. I read the story or op-ed in the Daily Defender. Then I saw another article by another millennial. And it just dawned on me during this Black History Month, when everybody's saying they so black and they proud, they know their heritage and they got to do all this. For them to not pay attention to the mistakes that we made as a people and learn from the mistakes. When I see all the sacrifices that leaders before me and those in my age group led and fought for our children to be able to go to school and get a better education, and then to hear those who end up getting the degrees to say that they don't want to hear what those leaders or their parents or grandparents have to tell them. And I say that because I told one of the young activists that he had to be careful what he was doing, or that he would end up locked up. And he didn't listen to what I was saying. He felt like he had the answer to everything until he got locked up. Then he had to plead guilty. And then he ended up with a society mark, against them. The young adults have a right to lead, but there's consequences when you jump out there. And I'm saying this as a father, a grandfather, and a great-grandfather. Those young leaders that want to lead today, based on the fact that they shouldn't listen to the elders, you're creating a generation behind you that won't listen to you, because then you will be an elder. So I'm saying, just be careful. Do the right thing, because you got to suffer the consequences, like I suffer the consequences from the choices that we make. You know, and I wish y'all the best of luck. And I'm telling all those that believe in what I believe, because everybody now hates Pritzker, and they don't feel like Pritzker should have much to say. And I'm like, you entitled to your opinion. But check your candidates and see what have they done for the African-American community. I hear a commercial on the air that's saying Kennedy has done so much for the African-American people, and therefore they're telling African-American voters that they should vote for Chris Kennedy because they feel that his father and his uncle has done so much for African-American people. But the fact of the matter is, it's Chris that's running for office. So what has he done for African-American people? I hear bits saying he wants to run, he's this great new middle-class champion. And because everything appears to be in the forefront of what Pritzker may have said that upset it, like Email Jones say, our black people. People in the community say he almost sounds like Omarosa by saying our people. The man didn't say the African American people. He named 3 African Americans. He named them. Possibly 4. He named in the recorded call. And then he started an apology tour and he went around. But the most important thing that I noticed from the apology tour is that the African American community ended up getting a chance to let Pritzker, JB, know what they expect of him as a governor. I have yet to hear any of the other candidates lay down a plan based off of work that they have done to help enhance the lives of African Americans. I got a caller, could you please state your name, voice your opinion?
Yes,
your opinion
Gator.
matters.
Hey, Gator, how you doing? This is Steve, man.
Hey, how you doing, Steve?
I'm doing good, man. It's a great day. It's a great day. And Gator, you know what? I talk to a lot of people. Look at some of the people we knew, and then look at us now. It's always a chance in life. Some is blessed, some's not. But let me tell you something. I saw you when you had burials on. I knew the only thing that I ever heard bad about him than any other politician, that he believed in nepotism. There was nothing wrong with that, because if I was running, I'd probably have my people in too, but as long as they could do the job. But if you can't do the job, you got to get up.
Right.
Now, you said the main thing, Kennedy. Why are we talking about Kennedy? You laying on that man's name. He personally, Chris, haven't did anything for us yet. He's laying on his family reputation. Now, again, Pritzker, who haven't talked about somebody? Hell, I have talked about white folks, black people, Mexicans. I did what I needed to do. We all got that habit. You got a fella now going to be calling in. They was telling you the other day, last week, about chopping a person's head off. That is art. That's nothing but art. So you let it go. People that say, look what the when hey y'all, please. Look when Harold Washington, and you remember they put the picture of him with a
Right.
bra,
Right.
and it's art. That's their opinion. There's nothing wrong with it. You either accept it or you don't. But Gator, let me tell you something. We know back in the day you had to have things that know what's going to do for you. It's the same thing that's in politics. You got to have the people around you, surrounding you, that's going to help you. Look at the example we got right now. We have Donald Duck in office, and it seems like everybody in his cabinet is going to go to jail.
Yeah.
But again, he surrounded himself with the wrong people. That's what happened when you have the wrong people. Gator, listen, man, like I say, I'm really proud of you. I know, and there's a couple of us, we were speaking not too long ago. I'm proud of you. I know where you was and where you came at. So you just stay strong. I notice you always says your wife. Well, listen, I've been with my wife as I'm 10 years old. Maybe that's why I'm not, somewhere else. A man must have that woman.
Yes, sir.
Let me
Thank you,
get out
man.
there, man, and hear your response. And thanks for
Hey,
taking the call.
thank you,
All
man. You
right.
know, you 100% correct. That's why I opened that up during this Black History Month. I bring that up because everyone has been talking about this video, it was on Facebook, how individuals try to interrupt a meeting that we was having with the elders, elected officials, pastors, and all that. And I felt that we in the community got to stand up for what we feel is right, and it's wrong for anyone to interrupt somebody else's meeting.
Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. The main point is this. You were somewhere having that meeting.
Right.
People now these days ain't nowhere except running and flapping their jibs. Don't know anything. Get out and do something in your life. Quit. Comprehension is a bad thing. That's why a lot of that didn't make it. They didn't never understand. They just did what they had to do.
Right.
So again, you was in a meeting, you formed a meeting. That means you have people that were determined and ready to listen to you, and for you to sit down and learn from what they give. You can't get too many people to call the people next door to them and come and have a talk. Gator, I'm gonna get out there,
Thank you,
man,
man. Hey,
and
I
thanks for
appreciate
taking
you.
the
Hey,
call.
man, and don't forget to come out there and vote, man. Tell your loved
You
ones
don't
to
have to
vote.
worry about that. I'm waiting on my application now for my absentee.
My man.
All
My
right.
man. Thank you, sir. So, caller, could you please state your name and share your
Yes,
opinion with our listening and viewing audience?
yes, sir, Mr. Gator. How you doing today?
How you doing, sir?
All right, listen, this is Ray.
Hey, Ray.
Yes, Steve just talked about what I said on a different show. He says that I'm wrong about the great uh, mayor we used to have in Hill, Washington, about somebody, pinning him in a lady's underwear. That was, that was stupid, and it was to embarrass him. But when a man paints a picture of an African American holding two severed heads, that isn't to impress anybody. And I'm going to tell you this: if it had been two white people that did that drawing holding African American heads, there would have been a riot. So in this case, I usually, maybe agree with Gator once in a while. Not with Gator, but with Steve. But this one is absolutely wrong. And you talked me into it, I'm going to vote for Fritzker.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you. But
You know, I want to give condolences to Commander Paul Bowyer's family on behalf of me and my family. And I want to give condolences to the families of everyone who has someone murdered senselessly, be it in the city of Chicago or in Florida, I believe that the problem with all this senseless violence is because the accessibility of guns that's readily available. You can go online to get them. But I heard a caller call in to Danny Davis' show, I believe, and they made reference from what I was reading in the paper that the FBI could have made a move and stopped this individual because of the things that he posted up on social media. And it's a known fact that they're monitoring everything. I was read in the paper where an individual got arrested and charged with having weapons when he knew that he was on parole and shouldn't have guns. They immediately arrested that young man based off of a social media picture, or what they call it, Facebook Live. I just want to say, Father God, I pray that you put a cover of protection around us as a people, because only you have the solution to stop this senseless violence and shooting. And I pray that when you make that decision, that you show those of us who are against senseless shootings and killings your mercy and grace. Caller, could you please state your name?
Good
What's
evening.
your opinion?
Good evening, Mr. Bradley. My name's Paula. How you doing this evening?
Hey, Paula, how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm a little bit sad for the city of Chicago. I'm sad for Florida. Listen, let me ask you something. We get some kind of congressman, somebody in this downtown when they're coming up for our voting. How are we going to stop all this violence? These guns, where the heck they all coming from? You look like a very intelligent man. God bless you for always looking out for everybody in the city of Chicago. You're a very wise man. I've never had the chance to call you. But we got to get to the problem of the dope and the guns. The guns and the FBI. Nobody seems to be doing their jobs anymore. Everybody bouncing, dropping the balls left and right, Mr. Bradley.
You know, I think one of the things you absolutely correct. I got another caller coming on, Paula, but I appreciate you calling me. And you can get my number, and you go off the air from Terry, and we can stay in contact, and I'll send you my information. But one of the things is this. They can go online and buy the guns. They can go to the gun shows and buy the guns. And now we see where President Trump, from what I'm reading, has, I believe, gave an executive order where even if you're mentally ill, you have a right to get a gun from the law that he's pushing. So here in Chicago, you can go to a gun store in the suburbs and get a gun. You can go over to Indiana and get guns and bring them back. You know what I mean? So all I can say is this. All we can do is stay prayerful. And if we all pray to God that those that's plotting and planning to senselessly harm anyone, we need to ask God to bring down his wrath on that individual and those individuals. Okay? There's power in prayer. You know what I mean? Because you can't make no legislation and add more time. Caller, could you please state your name, voice your opinion?
Hey Gator, I am so glad I heard that last call. You know, they was talking about the guns today. Again, they says even us black people, we get a lot of guns and we kill people. We normally just kill. You'll never hear about a black man killing thousands or 20 or 30 people. We don't do that. We only kill each other or another person. It's the other one that is killing 20, 30 people at a time and go on TV and tell you, I want to kill people. Again, it's not the problem is the mentality of people. Listen, sure, everyone has mental problems, but we beginning to see who really seriously have the mental problems that want to mass murder people. Give them their medicine. Give
Right.
them their
You know,
medicine.
I'm glad you brought that up. Thanks, man. You
Sure.
know, at that meeting that I was talking about earlier, after the elders in the room took the young brothers out, I'll say young, you know, because they were younger than me. And they come back in the room and they apologized to the elders, and they asked the elders if they could speak, and the elders said yeah. And one of the young individuals, I believe his name is Lamont, he asked Priska, he explained just what you were saying about the mental problems and happening and what's happening. And he asked Priska what would he do. And then Priska asked him, he said, what would you have me do? Help me put something together, because pretty much you're out there in it, you see it. You see what's wrong and how it can be addressed. So I would like you to help me put something like that together. And that's how it's going to work. It takes all of us to help all of us, whether we like each other or not. But we all can come together to bring about a solution. You follow what I'm saying? It takes all of us. And I want to commend our brother, because he came back in there. He apologized, and he became productive and made the meeting more meaningful than us who put the meeting together to mean something. It went to another level. You know what I mean? And so publicly I want to say that I hold no animosity towards them. It's just that when I see the young leadership, I think about them leading my great grandson and granddaughter. And I don't want you to be telling them not to respect their elders, because you're telling them don't listen to their parents. And understand this. I once was young, and God had blessed me to become a card-carrying senior. You follow what I'm saying? So I like what you're saying, but never say, don't listen to your elders. We the only race that let somebody from outside our race to convince our new leadership coming up not to respect their elders. Okay? It don't happen in no other race. And that's why that Black Panther movie is so powerful, because it's culturally enriched. So I'm telling all of y'all, go to the show and go see Black Panther. Because after this show, that's what I'm going to do. I want to say again, to God be the glory. Terry, you know I love you. And I ain't just saying that because this is Lovers Month. But I appreciate you. To my family and friends, to God be the glory.